My name is Gary Brado, and I'm a documentary filmmaker and an entrepreneur. The economy is in less than perfect shape, and when the jobs go away, there's nothing left to do but get up and get creative. And there are people all over America doing just that. It's estimated that up to 85% of new businesses fail. So I'm going coast to coast to hear the personal stories of the people who beat the odds and started a successful business from the ground up. This is Startup.
The entrepreneurial spirit is alive and well. In Walsh College's Business Launch entrepreneurial community, consultants provide advice to aspiring business starters. More information available online.
The Chevrolet Volt, an everyday electric car with gas for longer trips. The nature of things to come. Chevrolet, find new roads.
American Express is proud to support startup and the millions of small businesses that put in the hard work to be open for business in neighborhoods across the country.
I'm on L Street in Washington, D.C. We're going to talk to Noah, who created Feastly. Ever since college, Noah had a strong interest in international relations. And we're going to find out how Noah was able to channel his global ambitions through the dinner table. Let's go hear his story.
There are an estimated 980,000 licensed restaurants in the United States that are expected to generate $660.5 billion in sales by the end of 2013. This represents 4% of the US GDP. But that doesn't account for the unlicensed home cooking phenomenon that attracts local patrons to a home for a modestly priced home-cooked meal. Inspired by his travels and unique food experiences abroad, Noah created Feastly, a marketplace where passionate cooks could connect with adventurous eaters seeking a more authentic and social dining option by offering home-cooked meals in the cook's home.
I want to know about you as a person, so tell us who you are. A little bit about your history, professional, education.
Yeah, sure. So I grew up here in D.C., and my family, my parents, both of them were professionals. My dad's a doctor, my mom's a librarian. So I didn't grow up in a very entrepreneurial household, per se. I lived in Egypt and in Israel for a while. Then when I got back, after I finished working, my girlfriend and I, we took a trip to Mexico and Guatemala. And I couldn't find any Guatemalan food in Guatemala, which was really weird, and I'm sure there was, but in the areas that we were, there was just no Guatemalan. It was just like bad tourist restaurants. Eventually, we just like randomly came across this young avocado seller. We said, hey, do you know where we can find some real Guatemalan food? And he looks at us and it's like, yeah, at my house.
Sweet.
And we were like, awesome, let's do this. So we followed him back to his house. He swung open the door, and there his mom was just like preparing this amazing feast of Guatemalan food. And as we were there interacting with them, learning, sharing, eating, it kind of hit me as like, why is it so hard for me to find this? And for her, she would have loved to showcase this, but why was it so hard for her to do that? And that was sort of the spark for Feastly.
Just to kind of put it out there in a very comprehensive way, Feastly is a way for people to invite you into their home the way you were in Guatemala. You have this incredible concept. How do we monetize it? How do you turn it into a business?
It costs less and less money to start a company these days. I think from my experience with starting the Blind Dog Cafe was kind of integral for how I looked at Feastly. So just to give you some background, the Blind Dog Cafe is a cafe here in Washington, D.C. that myself and two friends of mine, Jonas and Cullen, started. We put together the concept in about a month and a half till actual opening up the place.
That's quick.
Which is unheard of. And we did it with no money, basically. What that really taught me was that you don't need a lot to be able to create something amazing and to see if something will work, right? From that, I really applied those lessons to Feastly. So after my trip to Guatemala, I basically came back, and there's an organization called Startup Weekend, which is a weekend, 54-hour weekend that brings together designers, developers, entrepreneurs. Everyone just pitches an idea, whatever it is.
Here in DC?
Them all over the world, over 200 cities. And in 54 hours, we built the initial product that became Feastly. It was basically just an email list that we put together that said, hey, we're doing these things, And if you know anyone who likes to cook and wants to do this, like, let us know. We were bringing in revenue from day one because we take a small percentage of whatever the seat transaction is.
So the host is charging a flat rate per plate.
So whatever they post, we actually add 10% to the cost at the end. So it's $20, it'll be $22.
Okay.
And then we take 20% of that new price of that $22, and the cook gets back the rest. So the cook typically gets back about 88% of whatever their price is.
That's great.
So yeah.
Everybody wins.
Yeah.
In-home, intimate, or social dinner parties are a very profitable niche segment within the food industry because requests for intimate dinner parties are generally unable to be serviced by larger catering outfits.
You're a chef on Feastly. Is it profitable being a Feastly chef?
Because of the money I've made, I've actually started doing a little side business, doing pickling, and got me back into the kitchen. So it's been a segue in a lot of different ways, both financially and kind of confidence boosting.
It seems great for the people that are coming to the dinner because they get a chance to socialize and meet new people, and it's a really cool experience. But on your end, as a prospective small business owner, chef, you get to kind of put your toe in the water without jumping all the way in and feel your way around. You're a customer.
Yes, I am.
What does that mean?
I'm not really sure. It means that I like to go to Feastly events, and that I tell my friends a lot about what Feastly is doing. I mean, the hosts are usually super welcoming. Sometimes they have name tags. They give you name tags to wear, or like a fun fact.
Right.
And so you kind of go in, and people are signing up to do this Feastly dinner. So I think they want to meet people, right?
Yeah.
Because the whole idea is that, for me at least, it's meeting new people, checking out the community, and so people aren't like, who are these people in my house? They're like, welcome. We're so happy to have you. Let me tell you about the food
They
that I
probably
love.
feel the uncomfortableness and want to squash that right away and get rid of it instead of like the possibility of next week there being Lauren stew.
No, definitely not. I think it's a really warm and inviting environment, and
Right.
people, the people who hold these events are usually people who maybe have pipe dreams of being a chef.
Sure. Not only are you're posting on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, all that.
So yeah, so we have social media channels, obviously.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then I would assume that the people that attend your events and the chefs, they're probably posting as well about it.
Exactly.
So it's really creating this huge web of, word of mouth.
Right, word of mouth and content.
Both online and
Yeah.
in person.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for other entrepreneurs?
My biggest piece of advice is 50% of it is just doing something.
Mm-hmm.
And you can try to think about all the various scenarios that will happen, how to make everything perfect, but you're so small at this point that your advantage is your nimbleness.
Sure.
Is that you don't have to move this massive ship. It's just you or one or two other people. And you can do a lot with that.
Thanks a lot for talking with us
thanks so
today.
much.
I appreciate it.
Cheers.
Feastly is turning food into a true social event among strangers, as well as providing an outlet for people who love to cook. From a simple idea to a successful online business, Feastly has people all over the country coming back for seconds. For more information, log on to our website and click the link for Feastly.
Visit our website at startup-usa.com and like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
What do you call organic food? What did they call organic food in 1950?
No idea.
Food.
Well, exactly. Exactly.
American Express is proud to support startup and the millions of small businesses that put in the hard work to be open for business in neighborhoods across the country.
The Chevrolet Volt, an everyday electric car with gas for longer trips. The nature of things to come. Chevrolet. Find new roads.
The entrepreneurial spirit is alive and well. In Walsh College's business launch entrepreneurial community, consultants provide advice to aspiring business starters. More information available online